Students, today I shall give you an overview on the Indian Partnership Act 1932. So, what we mean by partnership? Partnership basically means the relationship between persons who have agreed to do some business and thereby share the profits of the business. It is an association of two or more persons. The person who have entered into such an agreement, they are called partners, and collectively together we call them a firm or a partnership firm. দুজন বা তাতকৈ বেছি মানুহ যেতিয়া লগ হয় যিকোনো এটা বিজনেছ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আৰু সেই বিজনেছ বা ব্যৱসায়ৰ যিটো লাভ হয় সেই লাভটো তেওঁলোকে ভগায় নিজৰ মাজত, সেই কথাখিনিক আমি পাৰ্টনাৰশ্বিপ বুলি কওঁ। Essential elements of partnership. Partnership form কৰিবৰ কাৰণে কিছুমান elements আমাক খুবেই দৰকাৰ. There are certain important elements in partnership. First of all, partnership is an association of two or more persons. We need minimum 2 persons to form a partnership because a single person doing business, that is known as sole proprietorship. For the partnership to form, there must be an agreement between the persons. Okay? The persons, they will have to do some business, and when I say business, that has to be some legal business. 2 persons forming a partnership to do a bank robbery, that is not a partnership because the business here is illegal business. Agreement must be to share the profit of the business. When you are doing a partnership, you will have to share the profit that you earn from the business. The profit can be shared equally between the partners or it can be shared in any of an agreed ratio. But the point is, you will have to share the profit. Such business must be carried on by all or any of them acting for all. The business can be equally done by all the partners, or it may so happen that 1 or 2 partners are actively participating in the business and rest of the partner have just contributed capital. That is also possible. So these 5 are the essential elements of partnership. In case it is any one of them is not present, then you cannot form a partnership. For a partnership to happen, all these 5 essential elements need to be present. Okay? So the next topic that we will discuss among partnership is we will try to identify the difference between partnership and company. So there are certain points of distinction between a partnership and a company. So I will try to explain you some of them. See, the first point of difference is a partnership has no separate legal existence. Okay, so partnership is not separate from its members. The persons who have joined the partnership, they are individually called partners and together they are called the partnership firm. But in case of a company, what happens? A company is a separate legal identity. We consider the company just like a person, right? So the law has considered company as an artificial person. So in case of membership, also there is some difference between partnership and company. In a partnership, the number of members must not exceed 20 in any business, and if you are doing a banking business, then the maximum number can be 10. Okay, so in case of company, what happens? If it is a private company, then you can have like maximum 200 members, and in case of a public company, there is actually no restriction on the number of maximum members. So that is the difference as regard to the membership. Then again, let us talk about liability. So what happens in a partnership? The liability of the partners is unlimited. Unlimited in the sense that even the personal assets of the partners are liable for the payment of a liability. But in case of a company, what happens? The liability is normally limited as to the extent of your share capital. Let us suppose a person has purchased share of rupees 1,000. So his liability is only 1,000 rupees. Even if the company is going under bankruptcy or any problem, the shareholder is liable to pay only 1,000 rupees. But in case of partnership, it is totally contradictory. Like if you have incurred a liability, You may have to sell your personal assets, your car, your house, your jewelries, or anything in order to fulfill your liability. Okay. Next, another important point of distinction is the transferability of interest. So in partnership, what happened? A partner cannot transfer his interest. Suppose A, B, C are partners, so it cannot happen that A said that from tomorrow I will not be doing the business. Instead of me, my son will be running the business. It cannot happen in case of partnership. You cannot transfer your shares. Okay, but in case of company, what happens? Shares are easily transferable. Alright, you can easily transfer your shares. There is no restriction on transferation of your share. Next, another problem is death or insolvency, another point of distinction. So in case of partners, what happens? Partnership, what happens? In case a partner dies or partner become insolvent, then automatically the partnership is dissolved. Suppose A and B are two partners, and in case A died, B alone cannot run the partnership. So he will have to close down that particular partnership agreement. B can definitely continue the partnership with somebody else, but whatever agreement he had with A, that has to be closed down, right? But in case of company, what happened? The company continues. Even if a shareholder dies or becomes insolvent, a company will continue. Its life will continue. That is called perpetual succession. Okay? Company has that feature, that characteristics of perpetual succession. This means a company continues year after year and is not affected by the incoming or outgoing of its shareholder. Clear? So another point of difference I would like to tell is about management. So in case of partnership, what happened? Every partner has a right to take part in the management of the affairs of the company. Okay. So suppose A, B, C are partners. A, B, C have equal rights in running the business. But in case of company, what happened? Only out of all the shareholders, we select a group of shareholders, and that group is called the directors, the board of directors. Board of directors will do the management of the company. Why is it so? Because you see, a company have number of shareholders, right? Like I told you, a public company, there is no limit on the maximum number of shareholders. So let us suppose a company having 300-400 shareholders, 300-400 people together, they cannot sit every time and decide on a matter. It is time consuming and practically not feasible. So what do? They select a group of shareholders, that is called board of director, and board of director will conduct the activities on behalf of all these shareholders. So that is another important point of difference. Okay. Next, another thing is registration. This is very, very compulsory. Okay, important. I mean, a company cannot come into existence unless it is registered under the Companies Act. So registration is compulsory for the formation of a company. Without registration, a company cannot be formed. But in case of partnership, registration is not compulsory. Okay, so if you want to get your partnership registered, that you will have to do under Indian Partnership Act 1932, but it's not compulsory. Of course, if you are not registered, there will be some issues and problems that we can discuss in the later part, but it is not compulsory as of now. That is the point. Next, regarding audit. Okay, so company is legally required to have its accounts audited. So company needs to have a chartered accountant who will come and audit its books of accounts. But in case of partnership, that is not compulsory. It is at the discretion of the partners. If they want to get their accounts audited, they can do it, and in case they don't want, they can avoid it. So these are some of the important points of differences between partnership and company. Okay. So next, I will talk about partnership deed. As I told you earlier, partnership is the result of an agreement. Two or more persons, they come together to do a business and they undergo an agreement. That particular agreement is called partnership deed. Okay, it can be written or it can be verbal, but we will always want it to be written so that we can avoid certain future disputes and problems. So, but it's not compulsory. Again, partnership agreement can be verbal as well. Okay, so what is partnership deed? the document in writing containing the various terms and conditions of the partnership is called partnership deed. Everything, every detail, every terms and condition about the partnership is written in the agreement, and that agreement is actually called partnership deed. I suppose you have understood. Now let me tell you, what does the partnership deed contain. Okay, some of the important things that the partnership deed contain are name of the partnership firm, name of all the partners, nature and place of the business of the firm. That means what type of business the partnership is doing and what is the place of operation. So date of commencement of partnership, that means from which date the partnership has started. Duration of the partnership firm, like is it for some particular adventure, is it for a limited period, is it for a fixed period, or is it in continuing nature. That capital contribution of each partner, how much capital each partner has contributed. Profit sharing ratio of the partner, as I told you, in case of partnership you will definitely have to share your profits. So profit can be shared equally or in some ratio. So whatever it is written in the agreement. So clauses regarding admission and retirement of a partner. So what will be the rate of interest on capital, what will be the rate of interest on drawings, what will be the rate of interest on loans. These things are written in the partnership deed. And I hope you remember what drawings are. Drawings means the amount withdrawn by a partner from the partnership firm for personal use. That is called drawing. It is a type of loan that is given by the partnership firm to the partner for his personal use, and when you take a drawing you will have to return it along with interest. So this is about partnership deed, and this is about the what partnership deed contain. I hope you have understood. So let me tell you something about the kinds of partners. There are different kinds of partner. The first one, that is actual partner. A partner who is actively participating in the conduct of business, he is called an actual partner. Okay, that is very simple. Sleeping partner is one who contributes capital, but he is not actively involved in the activities, day-to-day activities of the business. So basically the third party doesn't know he is a partner. That is why he is called the sleeping partner. Okay, so his connection with the partnership firm is actually concealed from the world. The other people doesn't know that he is a partner in this firm. His contribution, he is contributing capital, he is sharing profit, he is also sharing the losses. Okay, so next is nominal partner. A partner who does not contribute any capital or sharing profit, but he only lends his name to the firm. Let us suppose, if I tell you, like I'm doing a partnership with one of my friend, and Amitabh Bachchan, he is a partner in our firm. So if I can use the name of Amitabh Bachchan in my firm, then what will happen? It will increase my credibility. Yes, it will increase my goodwill. So many people will come, probably join my partnership or will become my clients or customers hearing the name of Amitabh Bachchan probably. But in this case, Amitabh Bachchan has not contributed any capital in my firm. He has also not. He is also not interested in the profit. He has just lent his name because I am his good friend. Suppose in that case, Amitabh Bachchan will be my nominal partner. Is it clear? But the thing is that one thing is that he will have to take the liability. If there is any problem or if there is any issue with the customer or something, he is also liable, because see, customer might have made relationship with my partnership firm after hearing his name. It's possible. So that's why he becomes liable. Okay, so there are some partners who shares only the profit of the business without making himself responsible for losses. That type of partnership, the partner is called a partner in profit only. Okay, then there is incoming partner who is admitted in the partnership. He is called an incoming partner. A partner who is retiring and leaving the firm is called an outgoing partner. A minor as a partner, this is very important. Minor means, you understand, a person who is not 18 years of age. So basically he cannot become a partner of a firm because he does not have any capacity to contract. But however, if he is admitted to, then he will get all the benefits of the firm. partnership firm, okay, but he shall not be held liable. So minor এজনক যদি আমি পাৰ্টনাৰশ্বিপত জইন কৰাওঁ, একচুৱেলি তেওঁ পাৰ্টনাৰ হ'ব নোৱাৰে কাৰণ তেওঁৰ 18 বছৰ বয়স হোৱা নাই, কিন্তু এজন মাইনৰ যদি কিবা কাৰণে পাৰ্টনাৰশ্বিপত জইন কৰে, ইন দ্যাট কেছ তেওঁ প্ৰফিট শ্বেয়াৰ কৰিব ডেফিনেটলি, কিন্তু আমি তেওঁৰ কোনো ধৰণৰ লায়াবিলিটিজৰ কাৰণে ফ'ৰ্চ কৰিব নোৱাৰোঁ. হি ইজ নট ৰেছপনচিবল টু শ্বেয়াৰ দ্য লায়াবিলিটিজ অফ দ্য ফাৰ্ম. দিছ ইজ ওৱান থিং. So these are some of the partners, types of partners actually. I hope you have understood. So this is chapter 1 of Indian Partnership Act 1932. So a quick revision, we discussed about the meaning of partnership, what is a partner, what is a partnership firm. We have talked about the 5 essential elements of partnership. In the absence of any one of them, partnership cannot be formed. Then we have talked about the differences between partnership and a company. I discussed some of the points which distinguish between a partnership and a company. Then we talked about partnership deed, that what partnership deed is. It is the agreement of the partnership. It can be written or it can be formed verbally, but it is desirable to have a written partnership deed. Then we also talked about the contents of the partnership deed. Then we talked about some of the types of partners. So this is all about Indian Partnership Act chapter 1. This is the basic of Indian Partnership Act.